Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So I want to go over some news for the Philadelphia Eagles. A few things to go over. Want to go over a wide receiver sign that the Eagles picked up the other day. I want to go over a mock trade that we definitely have to talk about and why it makes sense or maybe really doesn't make sense, and some other news as well. So let's get straight into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I hope everyone's enjoying their work week and enjoying themselves. And, with Eagles training camp going on, a few days until the Eagles' first preseason game, and a lot going on here. The Eagles are always, Howie Roseman is always trying to get this roster better. He's always making moves. He's always seeing what's out there, who's getting released, who's getting waived. It just depends. But I want to talk about Johnny King is the new receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles that they brought in just yesterday. Was cut by the Colts last Wednesday as an undrafted free agent. And interesting enough, the Eagles have just really liked big receivers. I feel like every receiver they bring in is a big receiver. I don't know. Maybe that's what they want right now. Maybe they figure, they don't have – there's really not that many big receivers on this team right now. They're going to be on the active roster. AJ Brown, obviously, they have a lot of speed right now with Quez and Devontae Smith, and obviously AJ Brown's fast, and some of the other guys, like, they have a lot of speed here, but you're getting a guy that has a nice bit of both, with speed, running a 4.4, I mean, pretty fast, and his size at 6'5", 209 pounds. So it was cut last Wednesday. Eagles picked him up yesterday. In his 36 career games, 31 starts at Southeast Missouri State from 2020 to 2022, and played at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M in 2019. King logged in 142 receptions for 1,836 yards and 14 touchdowns. I know nothing about this guy at all, but to add more competition to the wide receiver room, obviously, you're going to have, Devontae Smith. You're going to have A.J. Brown. You're going to have Quez Watkins. You're going to have Alamati Zaccheaus. That's your four right now. And I would say if someone's playing, I guess it's going to be Britton Covey. I mean, they're keeping maybe 5, maybe 6. I would say 6. Or maybe they want to keep 7. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But if you can just kind of tell right now, I don't know. Like, we have a lot of speed with this offense, a lot of speedster type guys. I think they're just looking for more big receivers. Like, they brought in Jaden Hazelwood. He's not really doing much in camp. I think the only guy that's really the only undrafted free agent wide receiver that the Eagles paid the most money to, that is doing a lot right now. It's made some few catches, has a touchdown already, is being the most productive out of the group of undrafted free agents. It's probably Joseph Nada from Clemson. And the Eagles paid him $230,000 for, to try out for the Eagles. And he's got a big body. He's got a good catch radius. His contested catching is fantastic. But we kind of question his route running, kind of question his speed. But when it comes to, the radius, the tracking of the football, he could do all that perfectly A+. So I think he's been the most productive wide receiver we've had. Now, adding Johnny King to that whole entire thing. So he looks like he's a more slim, big receiver with a little bit of speed, which is great. Running a 4.4 at 6'5", 6'4", 209, whatever it is. It's a nice stat. It's a nice measurement there. So we're always changing this roster. But what I've noticed is, they've been looking for that, bigger receiver, or at least someone that matches A.J. Brown's. No one's ever going to be A.J. Brown, but at least comparable, where they can put a guy on the field and, maybe produce a little bit. So this one is a little interesting and, always moving this roster around, which I like. So that's Johnny King, and we'll see what he does. Should be awesome. Now, I want to go over a mock trade. Okay, which was very interesting. Mock trade came out the other day on an Aaron Donald trade, which it sounds ridiculous, and it is. And I'm not saying that there's nothing good about this at all, because there's really not. So in a trade with the Rams, the Eagles would receive Aaron Donald, and from what the Eagles would give up is a 2024 first-round pick and a 24 second-round pick. Now, the Eagles have 2 second-round picks going into next year's draft. I think we all know that. But does it actually make sense? You're not drafting Jalen Carter to make a move like this. And if the Eagles are giving up a first-round pick, they're trading it. and switching picks. I don't know when's the last time Eagles gave up a first-round pick for a player and not traded during the draft. Like, I'm saying trading picks. You can give up a first-round pick, but you could trade picks during the draft, which the Eagles have done a million times. I don't think they would actually give up a first-rounder unless it was for somebody that they desperately needed. And to be honest with you, I don't know what the contract looks like for Aaron Donald, but I'm not interested. That's why you drafted, you're adding more to your defensive line. That's why you've added in Jordan Davis, you've added Jalen Carter, and obviously you've added some on the edge with Nolan Smith. I mean, you keep adding players. Like, this is where you're going to get in cap hell when you're putting too much, or you're too thirsty for a Super Bowl and don't want to take the longer road or the smarter road, which is drafting better. And then the more you draft well, the more cap space you're going to have down the road, because you're not going to be that team that goes after free agent after free agent after high-priced free agent nonstop. You don't build your team through free agency. You use free agency as a tool for positions you might not pick up in the draft. But when it comes to Aaron Donald, no. Like, I don't need to rush this with Jalen Carter. Like, yeah, it's his first year. I don't put too much on first-round picks in their first year. Like, Jordan Davis needs a really good second year, like, beyond, it's got to happen. But if I'm doing this, I mean, I'm just not interested. I don't want to give up draft capital. We've been drafting very well including this year, the past 3 seasons. Howie Roseman has really Howie Roseman has really turned around and drafted well. And obviously, the rumors with Jeffrey Lurie backing off since the Sirianni hiring and Howie having more control of this roster. And when we thought it was Howie all along, for some picks maybe, but I felt like, there was some bumping heads a little bit with Andy Weidel in the past and maybe Jeffrey Lurie, and they're not, drafting big schools from the SEC. And that's been one of the biggest problems with this team. In the last 3 off seasons, draft-wise, they've been doing fantastic. Trades, fantastic. And obviously, yeah, they went all in on A.J. Brown, but we know A.J. Brown's good, and we know that, how he works these contracts well. And of course, can you work an Aaron Donald contract out to move some money around for less cap hits for the next couple of years? Sure. Would he be a monumental piece here? Sure. But I want guys to develop, and you would develop in a rotation. These guys will develop in a rotation, but do I want to throw out all this money for somebody? Do I want to get all these big cap numbers later on and having to keep him, which is going to stop us from making other moves down the road? No, I'm not interested in getting an Aaron Donald, because the more you draft well, and I'm willing to wait to, some Eagles fans see this and they're like, oh my God, we have to get him. No, we don't have to get him. We're in the golden stage of the era of the Eagles right now. We are in the golden times right now, where this team is very good all around. Okay, obviously we have a few questions about this roster, but I don't think it's anything that alarming, because I know Howie Roseman's going to take care of some of these positions. And to pay a high price defensive tackle, whether you can move the money around or not, make the contract, with ease to fit into our, financial plans, I'm just, like I said, not interested in it. I want to see what Jalen Carter could do down the road. I feel like Carter is going to be one of the best defensive tackles in the league. I feel like he could be a Hall of Famer here. I feel really good things right now, and I want to keep that going. Once you start dipping into trades like this and giving up draft capital, and plus, the Eagles are slated to have 11 to 12 draft picks in the 2024 draft next year, and we need as many draft picks as we could possibly get. The quarterback contract is not, and Jalen Hurts is not affecting us at all right now. So I have no problem, making some type of a move, but for a guy like Aaron Donald, yeah, I want Jalen Carter to turn into this guy. There's no doubt about it, but I don't need him here. Like, we don't need to go that far out, give away 2 draft picks, and it's for a good player, obviously, but you're not going to get him for cheap. It might even be more than that. At first, this is just a mock trade. Take it with a grain of salt, because it might be more than 1 first and a second in 1 draft. It might be a lot more than that. Obviously, Donald's a little bit older than he used to be, but still relatively young, and still could play at a high level for his age, regardless of age. But I'm just not interested in it. I want to keep doing what we're doing, this culture. how we're drafting, how we're making trades, how, Howie Roseman, every time somebody gets hurt, he's bringing in 2 players immediately. He's always on top of his game, and I think that's what's really important here. So paying a high-priced defensive tackle, already been down that road. I'm not into being down that road yet until Jalen Carter's contract or Jordan Davis plays at a high level and his contract's due in a few years or whatever. Okay, we're in a luxury right now. We don't have to pay a defensive tackle a lot of money. So I don't know. I'm not into it. I know some fans just want the flashy name, and I get it, but we have to be realistic with ourselves, and I'm just realistic almost 100% of the time. So let me know what you guys think, obviously, about Johnny King, what he will bring to the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you think this sets a mark of, there could be a rise in one of these undrafted free agent wide receivers? Like I said, Joseph Nada's been playing pretty good. He's been the most productive guy out of all the undrafted free agent wide receivers. He's done a good job, and it looks like they're looking for some type of big receiver to back up A.J. Brown, or they just like these big receivers. I think there's a lot of speed with this offense. They're trying to look for more size, but you're getting a nice balance with Johnny King when it comes to size and speed, which is great at a 4.4, which is awesome. I mean, I don't know anything else. I don't think he was at the combine or anything. He didn't have a cone drill or agility drill, so I don't know really much of anything else. I tried looking it up. I couldn't really find anything, but I think it's really important. So you guys let me know in the comment section what you guys think about all this stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next one. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Shakes it up, follow, peace out, guys. Peace.